Hey guys, welcome to Crazy Empty Nest. I'm Lance.
And I'm Jenny.
Today we're going to be giving you our long-term review of the Smittybilt overlander tent. Now we've had this tent for the last 3 years and we have almost 100 nights in this thing now. So we're really going to give you a review after some long-term use, some of the pros and the cons, the things that we like and the things that we wish they would kind of improve on this. Now, I will let you know there's 3 types of Smittybilt overlander tents. There's the regular one, which we have. There's the XL, which is actually designed for 3 to 4 people or small families. And then they actually have done a 2.0 or an upgraded version of this normal or the regular one. And they've actually added a lot of the improvements that people talked about from the model we have in order to make the newer 2.0 version a little bit better. So we want to let you know that this is the first version that came out 3 or 4 years ago. They did make some upgrades on the 2.0 version, which is available now.
If you've seen some of our previous videos, we definitely want to send the message that it's not necessary to have a rooftop tent to go overlanding at all. However, I know that we've really enjoyed it. For example, we've only camped in a tent on the ground once this year, and that's because we had to hike to our spot. And I don't know if it's because of age or what, but I woke up feeling really sore and icky and just not as good of a rest as I get in this thing.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, so I've had back surgery, again, getting old, you know, getting up there in age. I've had a back surgery and then I've been dealing with back problems. I'm on full-time medication for back problems, probably for the rest of my life. So for us, this is one of those things that, you know, when you weigh the cost benefit, we would rather have a little bit more comfort when we go out. Again, we're getting old. If you're younger, you don't have back problems again, and like we said, you don't need this. This is purely a comfort item, a little bit something nice to have, but you can just, you know, there's people, you can sleep in the back on a platform, you can get a ground tent for a couple $100 from Walmart or whatever, and you can do this. You do not need this. Okay, so one of the nice things about the Smittybilt overlander tent is really the price point on this. If you look, I mean, most rooftop tents are double or even triple the cost of the Smittybilt overlander tent. And to be honest, I've seen a lot of the other tents, so I really don't think you're gonna get that much value for spending 2 or 3 times as much for some of those other ones. Now, we've looked, you know, one of the things I really like, I do like the clamshell or the hard top type of tents they have now. One of the big reasons is just because of gas mileage and wind, and there's a lot of other reasons, but again, you're talking 2 and 3 times as much of one of these. So for initial entry, you know, low price point, that's one of the reasons why we really went with this. And you can find this thing retails for probably about $1,000 right now. I think we got it when it did a price drop one time. We got it around $800. You just got to look for those deals and coupon codes out there where you can actually get this thing a little bit cheaper, but about $1,000 is probably the price range.
And I'm really thankful you got the cheaper one, because I'm obviously very frugal and cheap, and I'll be honest, I wasn't 100% sold on getting a rooftop tent at first, and then I went inside and I started to really, like, the kid came out of me, and it's super fun. It feels like you're up in a tree house and it's super comfortable and you're safe up away from all the critters and creepy crawlies here in Arizona. So at that point then I was sold, and I've loved it ever since.
So of course, like every day in Arizona, it's always windy here, but it's probably a good, you know, test for you guys to be able to see how this thing handles some of crazy conditions. And we've had, honestly, it's a lot of wind down here. When I've taken this on my cross-country trip, I've taken this through a lot of rain and thunderstorms and lightning storms and everything under the sun. So we've really put this thing through a lot, and we want to kind of talk about that a little bit today. So let's talk a little bit about the specs first.
The outer layer is made of 600D fabric, and it has stood up to wind and rain and all kinds of conditions.
And then on top of that, the rain fly, which actually comes off and is detachable, is 450D fabric, and it's really lightweight. And honestly, a lot of times we leave it on and we just tuck it underneath when we're going places, but you do have the option, you know, if you're places like this, if you don't want to, if you're going to be in a place for a few days, you can pull it off and just have the outer fabric and open up all the windows and stuff like that, open the skylights, which is really nice. But it's a really sturdy fabric. We've really been through some harsh terrain on this thing, and it's really held up, and we haven't had any issues at all with it.
So some of the features on this is it has 2 doors. 2 windows and 2 skylights, and so when it's all opened up like it is now, we usually just shut the screens and leave it all open because it creates a really nice airflow and keeps you really cool in the summer. And I know I love when I wake up in the morning, I can just see the whole world, and I've been enjoying bird watching and those kinds of things, so it's a benefit that way. So now I'm going to go over some of the construction. The poles are aluminum and the hinges are metal, and so overall it's only 116 pounds, which is nice because it's strong in the areas you want it to be strong and sturdy, but yet when we're off-roading we don't want a lot of extra weight, so that's a nice balance. The only criticism we might have is this part here that hangs over is plastic, and over the last 3 years it's kind of started to separate when you feel right here. So maybe that's a construction issue. I haven't had any issues with the mesh or the screens at all. Insects don't come in, it allows airflow. They're really sturdy and strong. We have no complaints there. The zippers here are SBS heavy duty zippers, and the only thing, I mean, they're strong, but they can get a little loud with the wind sometimes, so we'll just put some duct tape over them to kind of cut down on some of the metal on metal sound. Right, so here's the mattress. It is pretty thin, especially for someone of our age and Lance's back problems, so we got this added. Memory foam on the top has been amazing. It's just like sleeping on your queen bed or king size bed at home, in my opinion. When we first got this, I was surprised how roomy it is. It's super, like, you can change in here, no problem. Me and the dog sleep on this side, Lance sleeps on this side. I'm sure that helps that I'm a little bit shorter, but it's nice and roomy in here, so that's a plus. So for us, 2 adults and 1 dog is really perfect and roomy and cozy all at the same time, but if you have any more than that, I mean, maybe 2 adults and a toddler at the most, but any more than that it might get kind of cramped. As far as bedding goes, what we have ended up using was 2 flat sheets, and it's just because it's not the shape of any sheets that you buy at the store for fitted sheets, so I found that works better. You can use a comforter, you can use sleeping bags, but whatever you use, the really cool thing about it is when you fold up your tent, it all stays inside and it's ready to go every time that you find your camping spot. As you can see, there's air vents up here, and that really cuts down on the condensation, like when you're camping in the cold and it's, you know, there's frost and condensation, it cuts down on that. These are the aluminum poles that I was talking about, which is the frame, and they're nice and lightweight, but they're also really strong. And I just wanted to show you the skylight. What we do is we open this all up, and it's just awesome for stargazing at night, and it's great for bird watching in the morning, and good luck sleeping in here because the sun gets so bright, but we love it, so it's beautiful. When the rain flap is off, it's even brighter. There's also this LED light that came with it. It's built in right here. Honestly, it's pretty bright, so we don't usually use that one. And we just kind of bring our own lights, our flashlights, our chem lights, and hang them from here or something like that instead. And there's also pockets just all over the place in here, which helps for like putting your keys, your phone, you know, maybe your water, just so you're not rolling all over your stuff and you know where it is at all times. Lance makes it look super easy to get in and out of the tent on this ladder. I'm not quite as coordinated, so I have to use this red handle, which helps. And getting the dog in and out of here is sometimes a challenge. Luckily, Scooby's gotten really used to it, and he just kind of falls onto Lance. I hand him to Lance, and he just kind of rides him down like an elevator. So that works good with us, with our dog. I can't imagine bringing a big, huge dog and trying to get them in and out of here, but I'm sure you guys would find a way too. Another dreaded thing, I'll admit, is in the middle of the night, because I'm old again, when I have to go to the bathroom, and it's pitch black dark, and I do dread kind of going down the ladder, and every time I get up to go to the bathroom, our old dog has to go too, so it's a whole ordeal, and Lance has to get up and help us, and we make it work, but it's not as convenient as getting up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom at home. Another thing that I've really liked, so that the tent inside stays clean, is this shoe flap that kind of hangs on the outside of the tent. So when we come up the ladder, we take our shoes off and they just go in this little nice pouch, which is also waterproof, and they just kind of hang on the side here. And so they're ready to go and you know where they are at all times. The only other criticism might be the ladder. It's kind of big and bulky and kind of hard to bring down and get, you know, situated. But some of the other rooftop tents have the telescoping ladder, which is really more handy and good construction. But the 2.0 version actually has the telescoping ladder in place of this one now.
So Jenny, as somebody who's been skeptical of spending the money for a rooftop tent, after 3 years now, what would you say? Did that change your mind at all? Or?
Definitely. I've had so much fun in this thing. I think especially at our age, it's kept us on the road longer. So we're able to do longer road trips, you know, without being sore and uncomfortable. It's safer, you know, up off the ground. And it's just convenient, and I am totally sold now. Would never turn back.
Yeah, and I think for the price point, again, like we said, for as much as you spend on this compared to others, the value we've gotten out of this and just the usage we've got, for us, it made sense. Again, like we said, you know, this may not be everybody. Some people don't want to spend the money. We totally get that. But for us, this is our opinion. You know, we're saying we think we got value out of this thing for the $800 we spent on it. Definitely worth the comfort and you know, the quality that we got for this price.
Right.